Thank you, Sheree, for coming to visit us. I'm Robin Ash.
Megan.
Hi, nice to meet both of you all today. So I'm understanding that you guys, well, I got a call about you all trying to make some changes within the organization, and so I'm here more to discuss and kind of get some more and learn more about your company. I already kind of read like a preview of what's going on in terms of your background, but I really want to hear from you guys what's really happening within the organization.
Okay, awesome. So I was brought in as COO, and there were a few general ideas that they wanted me to address like right away, and I am just having difficulty with how fragile they are and kind of balancing each and every one. And so I wanted to bring in a consultant to see if you had any great ideas that maybe I didn't come up with to see how to handle balancing all of these priorities that I have to deal with.
Okay. And
Well, I mean, we've already been doing a good job. We're in a good space, and we are open to a little bit of change, not too much. So we just wanted to hear what you maybe came up with, so we can find a common ground.
Okay, sounds fair enough. So what are some of the priorities that you have in terms of what you would like to see change?
Okay, so this is a perfect example actually. I would love to see all the employees, executives and lower level employees be involved with this change and kind of see the positive direction that we need to move in order for the company to continue to grow and to continue to profit at this point. Because everyone's very complacent with where they're at, but I don't think they realize that like in the projected future we might not have the same profitability. Another thing that we need to look at is the development of our products. Over time, as we have become complacent with where we are, we haven't been able to continue to develop our products in a way that schools are still wanting to buy them and that educators and students are finding them useful to them anymore. And then also, I think we need to take a very good look at our human resources department because I don't think we're adequately assessing our employees and what their capabilities are and just like assessing them in general of what they're doing for us and what they could be doing better.
If I can add also, I mean, we are at $600 million company as far as used, regular textbooks, used books is also coming in as bringing us more revenue than actual e-text. E-text is only bringing us, in a year we've only improved by $85 million. It's not really something that we want to focus in too much because already it's something that we're doing well. As far as in comparison with, like I said, textbooks is giving us an average of $6,500 million a year. So in its own, we're already, like I said, in a good space with something that we might want to, but not in a large case. Maybe, have a side project for that so that you can test it out and see if it works. If it doesn't, we can continue doing what we're doing. But I know that I speak well for the remainder of the executive board that we're not really, on board with all of the changes, maybe some at a smaller scale.
Okay. So change might be good for the company. A little bit. Okay. So baby steps for you guys. So essentially, what do you think the future outlook of the company, or what would you like to see change in the company?
Personally, coming in a position of expecting change for my job, I would love to see kind of the executives kind of getting on board a little bit more with the idea of not necessarily like dropping all of our textbooks sales and like going into ebooks, but to really develop our supplemental materials for those textbooks and add all the technology that comes along with that so we can really start competing in the textbook world again and not allow our sales to drop off with the fact that we don't have all these online materials that the other ones have. So we can also add and bring in more authors to where we can really grow exponentially for new orders of books and new colleges, new institutions. And with the product development, I think that along with that, we could, once we're comfortable with that, then maybe we could look into the ebooks, not right away, but maybe in the future start maybe doing some research on stuff on like the trends and like how much it's rising and what really will that do for our profit.
So, do you have any suggestions as far as what would bring in a common ground for all of this? Because it's too much for the people that we have. We have really good people. We have talented people, and I do agree. And as far as HR, we might reassess or realign some people. So that's something that won't cost us too much money. Because also we're already losing some profit in, like you said, general sales. So we don't really want to focus too much money in executing massive projects, which is why we're open to smaller scale projects and maybe operating a smaller division in whatever she's saying, which is okay. But as far as when I've talked to the rest of my team that I've been working with for many years, and I have already know what they like and they don't like, I can tell you that they might be open to some ideas as far as realigning the team and maybe reusing them for other areas. But maybe you can come up with some ideas.
Okay, so what I'm gathering for your current state is that based on your history, you guys kind of want to keep it balanced. You don't want too much change to affect the history. Your corporate structure and culture, we can look into that. Your technology as well, in terms of like updating it so that way you guys are more current. Product development, like she mentioned, and then the high cost, which you're more concerned about, obviously, and evaluating employee roles, like you mentioned. I would put together a model for you guys, so that way I can present it to you and kind of get your feedback on what you'll think about it. And we could plan for this next week, Wednesday at like 4 p.m. if that works in your guys' schedule. That way we could discuss it further. I could present to you what I think or recommend what I think would work in terms of like getting you guys like up and running again, keeping current with trends, having a good, bright outlook for the company itself.
So I do like the model. Maybe that's something that we can present to the executive board, because that's just something that she's focused on and something that we do have in common. Because we do want to keep everyone on board and maybe change their minds once they see some actual data and some actual models. So maybe next meeting we could have it in an executive board meeting, and you can present your information there. Do you agree with that?
Works great for me.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to both of you today.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Great job, ladies. Very surly.